Your bills are negotiable. You can negotiate. You got yourself in some trouble. You did. You got yourself in a little bit of trouble. Student loan people, credit card people, you know. You got yourself in some, it's okay. It's okay. They just don't want it. They don't want you to ignore them. Just don't ignore us. You just don't ignore us. You know? Negotiate with them. But you can't negotiate with your expenses. So have 3 to 6 months of expenses. But protect income that your family depends upon. At least 10 years of it. Protect it. The first legacy that you can build is bending an insurance company over a barrel. How? Your health can write a $2 million check. Because this is how insurance companies work. See, what you got to do is you got to look at one, how much debt you got. Because the last thing you want to do is transfer to somebody. Because they don't have the same knowledge as you. You want to look at the income, 10 years of your income, times that by 10. If you're making $80,000, that's $800,000. You want to look at the mortgage. And then you want to look at the business expense for your children. See, you got to change the wording of college to network event. That ain't nothing but a network event. Unless you're a specialist, like a doctor or something like that. And then they send you to a trade school where you can find out where the heart is. But if you're a real doctor, God already showed you where the heart, lungs, and kidneys are. That's how the doctors of old did. They had the talent. Mm-hmm. How'd they know? He already gave you that. All the rest of us got to learn it. You feel it? That's why they call them people miracle hands. Right? Everybody comes to this earth with a talent and a gift. Don't trip. We're only here for 80 years. Ain't about learning. It's about development. God said, you ain't here long enough to learn. Forever is a learning state. 80 years is a faith state. So develop that talent and that gift. That talent going to feed you and that gift going to feed the world. But we put our talent and our gift to the side and we go for men's minimum wages instead of God's wealth wages because we say, God sent us here with nothing. So I got to go to the university so he can teach me something. Nobody do that. That's like sending your kids to school with no lunch and no lunch money. That's a cruel parent. Right? So why would God send you to the earth with nothing? Talent and a gift. And we got to go get it from the man. No, quit tripping. The man just gave you debt. He gave you a piece of paper called a degree and gave you some debt. That debt is real. That debt is real. That degree is negotiable. That degree is negotiable. You be like, maybe I need to go put something on this degree. Maybe I need another addendum. Maybe I need to amend this thing. So, anyway, protect the income that your family depends upon. So when you protect the income, you itemize everything that the family will lose if you got sick. Or they lose out on if you got sick. So you tell the company, hey, listen, the company becomes your big uncle. You say, I'm going to pay you a fee every month. I want you to take $2 million, $1 million, and put it over into an account. That's what an insurance company does. That's what they did for my first client. They took $1 million out of their money, put it into account. It was called a policy number, but it was their account number. And they paid a fee so this company could move that $1 million. And the stipulation was back then, if you die, your beneficiary will get your what? Will get your legacy. They will get your trust. If you die, your beneficiary get the trust. So your big brother called insurance company, you bent them over a barrel, and they had to take $1 million and put it over here, $2 million and put it over there. They said your life will be paid in full. That's a good deal if you ain't got $2 million. You just got to pay them a fee every month. Right? Mm-hmm. To get your trust. While you're building your trust. See, life insurance is nothing but a temporary need that a family has until they get their personal financial estate in order. That's all it is. It's never been a permanent need. You don't even need life insurance if you got a cousin or uncle or father or mother that can loan you $2 million and put it into your account. If you die, your family can have it. Anybody got a family member like that? Let's say I'm going to take this $2 million, $1 million, put it in the account and give you that. And all the things you've been working on. Nobody? Only the Hiltons and Waltons and The Jameses and the Jordans, they're the only ones that got that. All the rest of us, we got people knocking on the casket. I know you faking. You owe me money. Come out of there. You dude got rigor mortis. You know what I'm saying? So life insurance is a one-time cash need. Some people maybe don't have the health to qualify for it. But Jeremiah, as you live and guess what? It's gonna take you money because I don't know if you're a trust fund baby. So if you're not, there's gonna be some money you need. But if you get sick, then what you're gonna have to do is step out to take care of yourself. You need a policy to step in and take care of you.
Oh, that's profound.
You follow what I'm saying? The new stuff is giving you living benefits, critical, chronic, and terminal illness. My daughter, 32. I said, me and her, we go back and forth. She's in financial services, 32 years young. I said, Dad, I don't have kids. I don't have this. I don't have that. I said, bring this new stuff. Where if you become critically, chronically, terminally ill, right now you're building your legacy. You're getting yourself out of debt. You're building your legacy. But what happens if the owner of our company said, if life get interrupted? She called me, I'm on vacation. My daughter's so disrespectful. I'm on vacation. She said, Dad, she had a legitimate. She said, Dad, I got something to tell you. You around anybody? I said, yeah, I'm around my whole table. I got wings. I got fries. I'm in Jamaica, man. I got wings. Come on. I got fries. I can't make this up. That's on my eyesight. I got wings. She said, yeah, all right, cool. All right, Dad, what's going on? Dad, I got cancer. I said, I got wings. This is what I told her. She knows that's how I get out on my day. I got fries, and you're going to tell me you got cancer? I said, what you going to do? She said, I don't know. I said, you're going to live or die. She said, wait. I said, what you going to do? You're going to live or die. She said, I'm going to live. Okay, cool. I want you to write down 20 reasons why you're going to live, and I'll see you when I get home. Bingo, I'm not a doctor. But I need you to have 20 reasons why you're going to live, because default, you're going to need 20 reasons. You're going to get 20 reasons why you're going to die. Cancer is the most feared language, word in 7 different languages. This stuff is going to kill. And if you can, as a man, think it. So I had to change. It's called a paradigm shift. Right? She had a living benefit policy. She had $1 million. So they put $500,000 in her account. She went to Tijuana, Mexico for natural healing. They was able to stop it from growing, but they told her to come back stateside. She went to Northwestern University. They did everything she didn't want to do. She said, Dad, I didn't want to do this. I said, what's your options? I said, I didn't know you was an MD. What's your options? She said, I don't know. I said, so how much time you got? She said, I don't know. I said, do you know, is it another day or another 2 days? She said, I don't know. And so you don't have options. You don't know how much time you got, so you no longer have control. Do what they tell you to do. So she did it. Now she's fine. She did a single mastectomy. She still got $400,000 of her money, and life goes on. You follow what I mean? But she was coachable. She was able to get one of those living benefit policies that said if you become critically ill, heart attack, stroke, cancer, end-stage renal failure, major organ transplant, Lou Gehrig's disease, blindness from diabetes, paralysis, Alzheimer's, dementia, traumatic brain injury. They out here on those scooters, hit that rock. They're in the air, in that moment before you hit your head on the concrete, and then them helmets they ain't got on. Traumatic brain, major burns. Those policies say you get up to 90%. Protecting the income that your family depends upon because you don't have it because you're not a trust fund baby. So you don't need that if you're a trust fund baby. You don't need that. You don't need to have that conversation. Your income has already been protected by the things your grandfather and grandmother did. But grandfather and grandmama didn't do it. Mom and dad didn't do it. It's okay. Don't blame them. They only served what was in the cupboards. That was it. You can't go somewhere and ask for steak and they only got pancakes. That's not going to happen. You get your pancakes and you make your steak. That's what mama tell you. Make you some, boy, you better make you some steak. I don't want no steak and you better eat them pancakes like they steak. That's what mom and dad gave us. They gave us all they had. Don't be sitting around complaining, talking about it. Mom, they ain't make me no trust fund, baby. They gave you what they got. It's okay. It's a relay race. When they hand that baton to the next runner, they don't complain. You didn't hand it to me right, and we're going to lose. Man, if you don't start running, I'm going to hit you with it. Right? We're going to win this race. Am I making sense? Yes. So we got to protect the income that our family depends upon when we don't have a trust. We all agreed unanimously that we're not trust fund babies. I wasn't a trust fund. I was a GI, government issued baby. The government paid for me to be here. Government walked in and paid for my delivery. There you go. There was my insurance company. That's right. So we have to have a what? We have to have a trust from a company that gives trust. That's called life insurance. Once we have that in place, 10% of everything we get has to go toward an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of income. So you have to add up how much would it take for you to pay your expenses for the next 3 to 6 months. Let me tell you something. The default is I got a credit card that's clear. The default is I got a 401k, 403b, profit share pension plan. Any one of those that's clear. The default is I have equity in my home. Those, every time you take something, equity out of something, you mortgage your retirement.
Exactly.
You push it off. And then you give class to the onlookers. Same for that emergency fund. Every time I put $10 away, I get a $15 problem. Well, that just tells you God been holding your stuff together. So every time you get $15, he say, okay, fix that. I'm tired of having an angel hold your brakes. I'm tired of having an angel sit there and keep your refrigerator cold. I'm tired of having an angel, you ain't changed the oil in 500 years. So what's happening is God removing those angels so he can send them to somebody else. Am I making sense? That's it. So that's why you keep having to restart. You've been riding off mercy and grace on too many things. But once you get out of that, then you're going to start building an emergency fund. You're going to start building it. So don't complain. Just try it again. Just do it again. Just do it again. Just keep at it. Just be relentless as breathing. Just be relentless. If you choked on some chicken tonight, you're going to be like, oh, almost dead. I'm done breathing. Oh, yeah. Woo. There you go. Feels good. That's man, right? You just get right back at it. You got to be relentless. You got to be relentless. Life don't give you what you want. It give you what you're willing to fight for. And we stop fighting when we think things are optional. You got to fight for it. But you got to know what you're fighting for. So you got to have an aim. You got to aim. You got to know. Write it down. You need what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. So now you can have a real conversation with people. You want to go out this weekend? You know what? I'm working on this emergency fund. Tell you what, I would if you're going to take care of it because I'm almost at my emergency. Now, it's okay. We catch them next time. Okay. You can have a real conversation with people because you know what your accounts receivables and accounts payables are now. Right? We be having these phony conversations. Got the bill money still in the account. We look at it. You want to go out? Hold on. Good. That check ain't went through. Sure, I'm on my way.
Real stuff.
We gotta have our accounts receivables and accounts payables in order and have real conversations. When you have real conversations, then what happens is either they're gonna sponsor you because they want you to be there, they really want you to be there, or they not. Or they not. But it's okay because you're not gonna mortgage yourself. Because listen, emergencies come like grapes, they come in bunches.
Yes, they do.
And the average adult, anybody over 17, has 3 unexpected emergencies a year, netting $1,000 or more. A year. The messenger of misery knock on your door and say, $1,000. You ain't expecting it. You ain't expecting it, but you got to prepare for it. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. You got to have that money allocated. And then you got to teach your kids so you don't be their emergency fund. See, we all are somebody's silent emergency fund. I ain't going to be your emergency fund. I taught you, put some peppermints away. Am I making sense? I taught you. Put some peppermints away. Establish an emergency fund. Negotiate your bills and pay your expenses. Negotiate your bills and pay your expenses. Your light, gas, all that stuff should not go off when light goes off. 10%. So once you establish that, then you reallocate that toward your debt elimination plan. That means that all the money that you had, that 10% that was going toward the emergency fund, you put your debt out, and from the smallest to the largest. You said, Keith, you don't understand. I just barely make my debt payments a month, and I understand that. Something happens when you get focused. Something happens once you get committed. There's always a way when you get committed. See, when you're not committed, then God has no reason to pay your debt off, so you're going to always come up short. But when you get committed, and then you got that 10%, it's amazing how things going to work out. So you put that 10% on that smallest one, then you pay that smallest one that was $25 with that 10%, then you got that 25 with that 10% to the next one, and then you got that going down. It's going down all the way. You follow what I'm saying? See, because the more money you stop allocating towards somebody's interest, it becomes your interest, because it becomes your legacy. It becomes your legacy. So you got to stop that interest. And once you become debt free, you got $2,000 to $3,000 right there to build your FIN number, your financial independence number. Your FIN number, that's the number that if mom and dad would have had it in their inventory, that would have been in an account for you. That's the amount of money where you can live off the dividends and the capital gains, the returns of the money. Because that's the amount of money that's in value. See, if all of us down here, right here, would have been trust fund babies, and we went and we opened up the student housing over at Florida State, and this university would be paying us that, we have enough to change the world. Because the overage, because we'd have used our debt money to have our investment money, and we own those student housings. And then when we own that, we own some of the larger buildings downtown. And we'll get returns off that. And so now our money would be giving us crop instead of giving us crap, because we got to give it away. You follow what I'm saying? See, your money could be your friend or your enemy. It's up to you. It's up to you. But those 4 basic needs right there. See, those 4 needs keep us from having a quality of life. Those 4 needs. It's a 4-question test. Out of a 4-question test, you can only miss 1 question. It's a question, do you have enough in your bank account or your investments that are allocated toward final expenses that if you became critically, chronically, terminally ill, it'll take care of you for the rest of the time? People say no. Do you have it in life insurance? No. Strike 1. Do you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of net income set aside for emergencies, layoffs? A layoff. That phone call that said, hey, we still got your position, but you ain't in it no more. Okay. What do you mean by that? Elaborate on that. Well, we've been talking, and this is temporary. Did you talk to the other? Because now you start tricking. The other people in the other department, they don't be doing nothing. I watch them. I got them on tape. They don't. See, you gonna lay me off? I'm the hardest worker y'all got. Disability. Disability happens when we don't even realize it. Or a mechanical breakdown of an automobile or any other appliance that provides for life comfort. That's called emergencies. That's called the messenger of misery walking the block every day. And it passes up our house every day. The messenger of misery passed up your house today. It might have went to your neighbors. It might have went to the next block. But eventually the messenger of misery going to stop at your door and deliver a package. You follow what I mean? And we got to be prepared for the messenger of misery to deliver that package. That's basic financial planning. Basic financial planning. Banks don't teach it. They teach wealth management, but you got to be wealthy to get it. They got that person in the corner. You see him. You see her. It's a desk over there. It's from an investment company. You know, and if you get enough money, you'll talk to them. But the teller is designed to put you in debt. And the person opening your account up is designed to put you in more debt. They say, hey, did we tell you about our low interest credit card? Did we tell you you could buy a home, you know? Did we tell you? See, the teller and the person opening your account up is putting you in debt. See, banks don't have money. They're about as rich as a piggy bank and Walmart. You got to put money in it for them to loan you money out of it. So that's what financial literacy is about, guys. Now, is it that easy? Is it that easy? How am I doing on time? 11:15. I go 15 more minutes now. I'll open up a question. Is it that easy? If you're taking notes, if you want to take notes on this, take notes on this. We all have been developed. See, life develops us from the age of 1 to 13. From age 1 to 6 is download. Everything goes into the download. From 1 to 6, just download. Whatever you say, it gets on your hard drive immediately. From 1 to 6, the environment. Barney might have taught you. Sesame Street. We learn how to do money, debt through visual observation. Subconsciously, consciously, we are who we are. Subconsciously, consciously. We saw mom, we saw dad, we saw people, we saw aunt, we saw uncle talking about pulling up to the bank and saying, all right, how much I got in there, where I pay? We heard that conversation. It went in as a download. We didn't hear anybody talking about, man, how much is the interest on that money? How much is the interest on my investment? We didn't hear that. If you heard it, raise your hand. We heard, okay, they're gonna pay this bill, we're gonna pay that bill. All right, cool, we can go to the zoo now. So consciously, subconsciously, from 1 to 6, went in as a download. From 6 to 13 was the Y years. Why? Why? But it was still being downloaded. Why? 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 And then through that time, we had 2 to 3 instances where we had trauma. See, trouble lasts 1 second. Trauma lasts a while. So now, with your download, with trauma that got to be triggered, that cements who we are. So any change, it warns this. It's called your reticular activation system. You can look it up. It's scientific. I've never been to college in my life, so if I sound smart, it's just for a few seconds. I'm really an idiot. Just for a few seconds. I'm telling you, don't get this misunderstood. It's a reticular activation system that gets triggered, that triggers the trauma. It triggers it. Somebody might say you'll never be nothing. You'll never have nothing. Somebody might say you didn't come from the right side of the track. You follow what I mean? And that then kicks off that self-conversation. Who you think you are? Who you think you are that you could save some money? Who do you think you are that you could be financially independent? Who do you think you are? By design. Why? Because America and Britain, white, black, purple, or brown, no matter who you are, is set up for employment. And America promised employees to big box corporations. They promised. But if you got a company like Amazon and you got 60,000 people, they can default and do like the people, like building the tower to heaven. They can get together and say, we can overthrow Amazon. We know how to do this stuff. But they took care of that in the developmental years. So you got 60,000 people that don't think to themselves that they can get together and do a better job than Amazon. You got a whole post office full of people that don't think to themselves, we can put trucks out there and privatize this. You got a whole department of police officers that don't think, man, we can get together and we can police our own streets with private security and police this whole thing ourselves. People don't think. What happens is it brings up 2 things: poor self-image and poor self-esteem, and poor self-portrait and poor self-image. And when you got poor self-portrait and poor self-image, you're like an illiterate person reading a book. They read it upside down on the bus. And they carry it everywhere. By design. See what we have to do. See, knowledge is only 10% of it, our subconscious mind works 90% of the day. 90% of the day. That's why God put certain things on the subconscious mind. Walking. You didn't have to, you just kept doing it till you fail. Talking, blinking your eyes. Just can't imagine if you had to be conscious. You'd forget to blink. They'd be like, excuse me, sir, you got a lot of dust in your eyes. Maybe you want to blink. Oh, God, I forgot. I was listening. That's automatically in your subconscious mind. Breathing. Hey, I think you forgot. That's in your subconscious mind. But so is the trauma. Because it got put on your subconscious mind during the developmental years so you don't break out. So here I am talking to your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is only 10%. So you can wake up to my conscious mind all day on faith, family, fitness, and finance. You can wake it up all day, but the conscious mind gonna put it back to bed. Subconscious mind gonna put it back to bed because we subconscious creatures. I'm writing a book called "Who Are You When You Ain't Looking." That's how you operate from your subconscious mind. See, we are all the product of your subconscious mind. That's why people say, you just like your mom. No, I ain't. You just like your daddy. No, I ain't. So I'm talking 10%. When I go and do these seminars at colleges and schools, I'm talking to 10%. When I'm talking to kids, I'm talking to 90%. I'm talking to 90%. If I'm talking to kids under 6, I'm talking to darn near 100%. That's why people of stature don't let their kids come around people until they're over 13. Because not only did they get their subconscious mind cemented into a personality trait, then they got characterly flawed through high school. Because when you're not working in your talent, and you're not working in your gift, the only valuable you have is your time. Time is your currency. And the only thing we can do is sell it, and they only buy it in blocks of 40. When you're not working in your talent, which God gives everybody a talent, when you're born, you got a talent, it just needs to be developed. If you're a drummer, you're beating on everything. Walls, pots, pans, everything. If you're an artist, you're drawing on everything. If you're a singer, you're singing at the wrong time. They said, we was just praying. We was just praying. All that singing ain't gonna make you no money. A comedian, whatever. It needs to be developed. But development on anything is done in the dark. And nobody want to be in the dark. That's why you want to develop kids, because they're not supposed to be doing anything else. They're not supposed to be working and paying bills, so you can develop them. But what we do is we take their talent and we throw it into the nuisance category. And we say, you got to learn. All you got to do is develop that talent around everything they need to learn. And so you miss your talent. And when you miss your talent, you now are working, selling time to try to repay back what you aren't going to get, which is a what? Nest egg. So you work from a scarcity mindset. I got to have it today. They see you looking at it. Would you like to take it home? Yes. Take it home. Louis Vuitton. So Louis got some respect on his last name. You follow what I mean? Because we working from a scarcity mindset because we don't know what we should be doing. We the lion in the jungle over there with the giraffes, and they saying you a giraffe, but they eating up high, and we climbing and falling. Am I making sense? We climbing and falling, and we wonder, who are we? They tell us at night, quit making that noise with your mouth. That's a war trying to develop. But you end up burying it. But it's like, trust me, this is not a funeral. Because I get people that ask me, I don't know what my talent is. When you miss your talent, all you got to do is find a passion. When you miss your talent, you got to find a passion, and then you got to find a purpose, and it got to be connected to the growth and development of others, not yourself. So you can do Mary Kay. and find a passion for the growth and development of others. See, when you miss your talent and you miss your gift, you got to find passion to connect you to your gift. Because your gift got to be given. If you miss your talent and your gift, God running pockets. You say, what'd you do down there? Send an angel after your body. He got it marked up like the subways in Harlem. Hit the pockets. Talent and gift in both pockets. So you promised me. You promised me. What? I got distracted again. Am I making sense? So you got to go for your passion now. It all ain't lost. See, he gonna leave you naked. You got to go for your peace. See, I'm on my passion. See, financial literacy is a passion of mine, and I can give it to others. See, I can't get out of here unless I leave people in place to continue on with the work. You can't get out of here unless you have what? A legacy left behind. Success ain't success unless success succeeds. So who's shadowing you? Once you find your passion, you got to be training your purpose. You ain't gonna be here forever. That's what Jesus did. He found out who he was. Yeah, all right, cool. He said, well, I ain't got to wait 12 people. You got to put them in place, then you can go. Now we can keep it. The beat goes on. See, but when we leave out there, ain't nobody doing nothing. It's a mess. It's a mess. See, you got to, I miss my talent. Passion time. What can you do that you can develop other individuals? It's going to be hard because I got to crack through the bedrock of their subconscious mind with a jigsaw and an earth shaker and one of those things that go on the ground and break the ground. And I got to crash through all that. And they ain't going to let me stay in their head that long to crash through all that to be able to take and put something else in there because they operating from a spirit of scarcity. That's not your problem. That's not your problem. Your thing is to set the TNT. God is slow. See, my thing is to set the TNT. I disturb your comfort. That's it. My job ain't to change you. I can't change you. I got to work on me. You follow what I mean? So I'll make you aware that the bomb has been set. Now that you know. And then I got to go to the next person, and go to the next person, and go to the next person, and go to the next person. He said, hear the voices, don't see the faces. You could be working on 50 people, and somebody walk up to you at the gas station and say, I'm looking for a passion. Okay. It ain't going to come where you think it should come from. Your harvest ain't going to come from in front of you. It'll come from behind you, on the side of you. We can't be that arrogant where we want to see the fruits of our labor. You got to divorce that because it's going to feed what? It's going to feed your ego. You follow what I mean? I can water a plant, seed it and water it, and I might have to hand it to somebody else to grow it. They got to watch it grow, but mine's coming. Like a thief in the night. Mine's coming. Yours is too. I ain't the only one. See, most of us are working outside of our what? Talent. Some of us hobby our talents. But the majority of us is working on a perceived education. We followed the Pied Piper. We followed the Pied Piper and we did what we was told. And we came to the fork in the road. And we realized we've been had. So now we're looking at the group and saying all of us ain't stupid. And all of us ain't been, what? Misled, but we have. But all of us could turn around. So is it going to be simple? Yes. Consciously, subconsciously, it ain't easy. Because we got to walk right back through the indoctrination. Like Martin Luther King did on the bridge in Selma. He had to walk right back through that crowd. That he's told that we're going to go straight down there and we're going to march. He saw that. He said, wait a minute, next time. But he didn't say that. He walked straight through the middle. You got to walk straight through your understanding. Because you leaned on your own, not you. I'm just using words. We leaned on our own understanding. And we got to walk back through that promise that we made to ourselves of all the things that we was going to be able to do, but we got ourselves in a pickle. We got to walk right back through it. And then we got to reappear in knowledge. But until we do, we're going to circle the wagon. We'll circle the wagon. And for every person that's here, it's 10 people that we affect negatively or positively. Count the absent. Count the absent. Not the present. Always count the absent. Because that's what counts. It's not the present that counts. Our legacy is not about us. It's about who we taught directly or indirectly. Everybody got 10 people watching. Everybody, all of us. What are we going to do for that 10? Are we going to win? Are we going to show them the courage to change course correction? Or are we going to show that 10, you keep on and you keep on digging through the earth and eventually you'll come to the other side. Here's my promise to you. You won't come to the other side. You're going to find lava. You're going to find lava. And lava is hot. Any questions? Any questions?
Well, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I can break the ice. I have a question, and my question is this: why we as African Americans are reluctant to plan beyond today, and we try to live in this moment?
Question was, why we as African Americans fail to plan beyond the moment. All people fail to plan beyond the moment. Majority of people, only 3% plan beyond the moment. The reason why is because we're a victim of our indoctrines. You see, all of us are copycats, we just never copied the right cat. All of us. You're not doing nothing that you ain't saw nobody else do. When they say it's nothing new under the sun, it ain't nothing new under the sun. We have not created a behavior. We're all products of a behavior that we saw. If whatever we do, we saw somebody else do it, we just try to improve on it, good, bad, or indifferent. So if we saw somebody just skating by, I saw my mom skating by. You can only skate by with public aid. You follow what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, if I would have went off what I seen, I'd still be doing it. But I went off what I felt. I didn't want it. I couldn't help. I had alligator arms. I knew at an early age that life was about others, it wasn't about me. And if I'm off man's mercy and grace, which is public aid, and their wealth and their health system, that's limitations. That's not enough for me. Darn near not nothing for nobody else. You follow what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm a barren tree, but I'm a shrub. I'm a barren. I can't provide shade. I can't provide fruit. All I'm doing is sucking water up from the root. The best thing they can do is take me, cut me, and burn me, and heat up for one day. Make sense? Questions?
I was following that question.
Yes, sir.
Why does it not register in our minds, and just people in general, that the $10 meal at Burger King can really reap millions if we invested in ourselves, insurance policies, things of that nature.
Why does it not register in our mind that a $10 meal at Burger King could be reallocated towards something positive that could feed hundreds of millions of people? It doesn't register because we work from a scarcity mindset and we don't feel like we're gonna have another $10.
Come on, I like that.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We like the person at the smorgasbord that's open forever, putting food and stuff in our pockets. We're walking out with grease dripping. They talking about you know, this is free and you can come back tomorrow. You follow what I mean?
Yes, yes.
But we have that limitation mindset. We like the Israelites that wanted to save manna. They need to turn it into worms so that we can understand that you ain't got no faith. See, when you plant something, it's out of the sight of me, you, and it's in the ground. And it's gone. And if I don't think I'm gonna get another $10, the last thing I want to do is bury mine. I want to eat. Because I feel like, man, this is gonna satisfy me right now.
That moment.
This moment. But if I bury it, but I can look at somebody with a harvest and I want to be like that, but I ain't planted nothing. Wait a minute, I planted poverty and it's growing. I planted scarcity and it's growing. I can't see that. Any other questions?
Not so much a question, but just like a statement. You mentioned like the mindset of the people that and this, like I said, this is a passion for me. It's about helping people in whatever capacity that I can. Being that I am in ministry, but also too, when I came into the knowledge, when I became aware about how protecting my assets, how I went before, is more than just insurance. How that I can leave a legacy. Because there's one thing, a phase of my life where this thing will GoFundMe was all around me. That's not good. That's not a good feeling. When your loved one has gone away, now you stuck with another bill and attached to the bill that you already have. Not saying that you won't do it or but you have to do it. You have to come up with something, you know what I'm saying? And so when I found out that I can prepare, you see, and that's a lot of it, and I found out for myself, I wasn't prepared. And so when I learned that, hey, there is a thing called financial literacy, I hopped on it. And so I myself is saying, when I came into this knowledge, I applied it to my life. And guess what? It's so good, I just can't sit on it for myself. This is why I'm having what I'm doing here today. And see, a lot of times people that you have grown up with or that know you, like you say, they have already predisposed their minds to thinking, what is she talking about? It's not really so much what I'm talking about, it's where I'm trying to get you to be at. Want your life to be better.
Here's the other challenge to that. And that's good. If you build a dream house, what do you start with? No. Blueprint. You gotta have a blueprint. You gotta have a blueprint. You gotta know what this thing is gonna look like in your head. You gotta have, see, you can't season until you season. See, people need a blueprint of what it's gonna look like. Sitting down, when I sit down, I do word pictures. What is it gonna look like once it's finished? Let's start with the foundation, the 4 needs, that's foundational. What is that gonna look like? That's gonna look like you're protected from sickness and death. That looks good. So that's a solution. Oh man, how many people you know that had a heart attack, stroke, or cancer? What if they were protected? Start with a blueprint. Establish an emergency fund. Start off with $1. Put it away. $1. You say, what $1 gonna do? It's better than not having one. Better than not having one. Start off with $1. Well, you got $1. Somebody, you only need $99 now. Somebody else still need the whole 100. If it's $100. You got to do debt elimination. Pay off the smallest bill. Just feel good about that. See, you can need small victories off your blueprint. Small victories. Small victories lead to winning the war. Small victories. Especially when you're indoctrinated by a faulty belief system. See, what Ms. Tawana is doing is amazing. She's bringing forth financial literacy. And these are 4 simple steps. 4 simple steps. But once you walk out of here, life's going to happen. Somebody's going to almost cut you off the road. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to your default mind. Everything we talked about, you're going to forget. Right? Roll your window down. You're gonna forget you went to church. Right? You're gonna forget that, right? We go to our default mind. Right? Our default mind has to be the mind we change, but it takes a long time to change the default mind. See, when we default, I'm better when I ain't looking. I'm better when I ain't talking. I'm better when I'm not doing this. At financial literacy and explaining it. Why? Because my default mind reflects my conscious mind. Because I worked on that. It don't reflect what I was brought up. I was brought up on public aid. I was brought up on public aid scarcity. I was brought up without a car. I was brought up not have. I had to change all that. So I'm better when I'm not looking. But the average person has not changed that. Go to the grocery store, find out you overdrew. Somebody say that card ain't working. You say, I know this card worked. I swear to God, I got this long line right here. You gonna embarrass me like that? It's gotta be y'all machines. Matter of fact, I don't even, you forgot you took the money. I don't even want this stuff. You can't pay for it. You follow what I'm saying? Follow, am I making sense? So you're gonna go back to your default mind when life happens. See, devil can listen to us. We're talking about financial literacy. We're talking about being financially free. We're talking about good stuff. We're talking about what? Giving you your time back, because your time is your true biggest asset. And when you got time, anybody with time is a very dangerous individual. Very dangerous. Not for the negative, but for the positive. Anybody with time. He said, all I got to do is just put something in your way. Put a nail in your tire. Right? Put something in your way. Challenge that faith you just got. That newfound understanding. Oh, you big and bad now, huh? He said, I'm the man in this piece. That's what he said. He said, King Kong ain't got nothing on me. I'm putting cases on all y'all. You know? Family lose $100, blame everybody. You was around. I saw you. No, see, that's why I don't let you in my house. What about that financial? Forget that financial class. I'm short the $100. But you supposed to be. You just no. You ain't gonna do me like that. I need my money. Devil like. You was about as smart as your what situation. You're about as faithful as good times. But that ain't where it counts. If you can keep your head when all about you is losing heirs, at that point, then you'll be a woman or a man, my son. If you can keep your head when all about you is losing heirs, because you will be tested. You will be tested. You will be tested. Any questions?
You talking, so you want to go?
I just have a quick question
Yes,
about trust funds. You were saying like trust fund babies or whatever. If I already have like land or something like that and I want to establish a trust fund for my son who's already born, where do I go and start that at? Like to a bank or?
You have a deed? Is it yours?
I'm just speaking in.
Okay, you will go.
Yeah.
You'll get a land trust. You can go to an attorney and get a land trust and put it in trust. Remember, a trust fund is a delegation of an asset to an individual. If I put my jacket in trust and my brother take it, that's theft. So I don't have to be at the house. I don't have to rush. Nobody got to rush to a house and start stealing everything. If this goes in the trust, and they say, Mama, put that in trust, and it's in your sister's house, she's stealing. She can go to jail.
So will he be able to get like the trust when he turned like 18 or something?
No,
stipulations on
it's delegated. It's at your discretion.
Okay.
That's what a trust does. It allows you to run your legacy through life or death. You got living trust and yes.
Okay.
Even with your life insurance, you can make the life insurance the trust. Because life insurance is your actual money. You just got to qualify for it through critical, chronic, terminal illness, or death. You qualify for it. And then that money goes into a trust fund, and then you delegate it so as you so see fit. It's your money. So you want the life insurance trust to be there until you get your own $2 million. And then you tell the company, I'm not going to no longer give you this fee. They say, why? Because I got my own money. I'm self-insured. So I'm not going to give you a fee anymore. Unless the trust that you have or your inheritance is not going to be delegated toward a non-for-profit. So if I got assets, and you're my brother, Mr. Brown, you got to open up a non-for-profit so I can transfer my assets to your non-for-profit, that non-for-profit, and so now I have a tax evasion, not a tax evasion, but I'm avoiding taxes because I'm giving it to the non-for-profit tax shelter. You follow what I mean? Instead of giving it to you and then you're gonna get a what, 30% or 40% inheritance tax, and then I need my life insurance again. I'm trying to avoid that. All Oprah's wealth is going to a tax shelter called a 501c3. So that's why everybody in your family, once you become wealthy, has to what? Have a Jordan Foundation, LeBron James Foundation. The foundation is going to still be yours, going to work independent of you, so you can put a certain amount of money in there, and then what it'll do, it'll still go out through distribution. See, these conversations we don't have because we don't envision ourselves leaving anything because we don't have anything. But the struggle is real. Yes, sir.
Yes, I think you kind of went over it kind of fast, but I'd like to kind of extrapolate on it further. You said we continue, see, we're getting in a situation where we continue digging. We try to dig ourselves out of a hole. You can't dig because you're digging, you're constantly going down. You talked about credit card and second mortgages, if you will. That's basically what we're doing, is we're just digging a deeper hole. We just continue to add and add and add. Can you kind of expand on that a little further?
Yeah, one word, panic. When you panic, you act irrationally and you do whatever you think you have to do. If you write down anything, write this down. Panic is the vulture on your shoulder. It's always flexing the squeeze. Panic is the vulture on your shoulder. It's always flexing the squeeze. But we panic. If somebody goes out there and a riptide gets them, all you gotta do is just relax. Just relax. But you panic and you drown. And so the riptide of life is just adversity. And so we panic. And once panic happens, we sabotage our ability to think rationally. And we start thinking emotionally. Panic. So most people are working from panic. They're on black ice going toward the overpass. You follow what I mean? You follow what I mean? You're going to go where you're focused, even if you panic. It's a principle. Behind every principle, there's a promise. You follow it? So that's the problem. People are focused on going over the ledge. Successful people don't focus on the ledge. They focus on the what? They focus on success. And you go in the direction of where you focus. Any other questions? I'm not trying to make it difficult. I'm trying to, because it could get into a position of information paralyzation, information overload. We could. Our minds can only accept the capacity and space that we have allowed it to. We all got a capacity and space that we allow for certain situations. We only use 3% of our brains, that is true. But there's a capacity, just like our stomachs have a capacity. In a month, we eat a lot of food. But in a meal, we don't. In a month, we eat a lot of food. But in a meal, we don't. So we can't try to eat a month's worth of food in a meal. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have indigestion, we're going to bring it up. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, guys. Thank you. I hope I was able to hope this information was able to benefit. If it did, make an appointment with Ms. Brown. She'll sit down and she'll go over a game plan with you, starting off small, inch by inch, a cinch, by the yard is hard. And most of it is just starting the thought process and going in that direction. She'll sit down. That's what she does. She's, a financial coach. Remember in the beginning of the class, trainer, coach, and mentor. Every successful person in the presence or the absence of talent has a trainer, coach, or mentor. You need a trainer, coach, and mentor. The trainer is going to take you through the routine. Keep you to the routine. If you got a trainer and you're doing fitness, they knock on your door. 4 o'clock in the morning. You say, I ain't going to get up this morning. They hit you with a bucket of water. You say, I guess I am. All right? The coach calls the plays. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do legs. We're going to do arms. We're going to do back. We're going to do this. The coach calls the plays. And the mentor helps you with your mindset when you feel like giving up, giving out, or giving in. Because we all get to that point where we feel like, I did everything and it's just not working. Well, we hit a point in life, and you have those. At that point, you either have a breakthrough or a breakdown. That's what it's there for. You gotta now give it all you got, or you're gonna bounce off the atmosphere of your goals and dreams. So you just hit that point, and the coach and the mentor just gets you through. Now you're gonna have a breakthrough or a breakdown. What we're gonna do? I'm gonna break through. Let's push a little harder. Well, you did that at birth. It's a push. The baby was working just like mama. Baby was working just like mama. The body was contracting. We was gonna have a breakthrough. Because if this baby wouldn't have came out, we'd have had a breakdown, it would have been a death. 3 deaths, or 2. So we've been here before. You follow what I mean? So we gotta birth this next level. And then we're gonna get to a point again. We're gonna break through or break down. What we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the playoffs and we're gonna go to the ship. But every game has a breakthrough and a breakdown too. It's called a defining moment. And you can't be afraid of those. You gotta understand now I'm at test time. You can't be afraid of those. You gotta fall on your understanding. Know that now, okay, cool, I learned it. God feels like I know it, he's gonna give me a test right now. I'm okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. Mr. Weiner, you have the floor.
All right. Awesome. Amen. We do thank Keith. Come on, get another hand clap. Been knowing Keith for a couple of years in April as well, and you know we worked together. I think when we first, especially when I first met April, my daughter Justina, she said, "Oh, she's young too, so I guess I can hang with this kind of stuff." So just let you know you're the inspiration to her. So we're looking for her to come on back and get a little more active. But today, did you really enjoy what you've heard?
Yeah.
Did it really help you?
Yeah.
Awesome. I figured it would, and you know, I didn't know who was gonna come, but I said, you know, I just got to get up and just get on out there. I've been doing this for you a little minute, but I just really haven't been out there. So you're gonna really be seeing me, you know, pushing, not to say the agenda, the crusade. And I really like the word the crusade, because I'm really passionate about helping people, especially when it comes down to the finances. I say this right here, it's comical, but it's real. I said, when you find out your finances are okay, you can praise God even better when you're in church. It's, you know, it's a sad thing when you got the shop and everything, and you gotta go back. So like he said, the devil, you got that note about, you was praising God. And what about that bill collector? So I'm telling you, when you can really see your finances, you know, when you're being free, you don't have to worry about when that phone call come through, who is it? Now, it's your phone now. You keep it over there to see who it is. And God did not intend for us to live like that. So, you know, coming into this financial literacy, coming and hear what you can do, because you want to invest in yourself. And insurance, you know, it's you have to learn about it. There's different types of products that's out there, and, you know, we stand behind, we got some faith ones, I just put it that way, that we stand behind. So you just call me for a consultation. Keith, like I said, he's my coach, my mentor. You'll probably see him as well, or April. Anytime that I need them, I can call them. They are right there. And I'm talking about come all the way from Chicago. I ain't paid any ticket now. So you come like flying, they what, Orlando? Yeah, they flew into Orlando. That you talking about room, they gotta have a hotel, they gotta have a rental car to come here. They did that all for me, y'all.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am, I have a question, in particular, and you have a vast audience today, and perhaps there's a novice, in here that's not, thoroughly understandable. Where do they go from here? You follow me? You don't want the information just to fall upon deaf ears.
Right.
Where do, as a novice, hearing this for the first time, where do I go from here?
Okay, great question, great question. So here, if you have your folders, we have some different, a piece of paper, your contact form. I would like for you to please fill this out for me. and leaving, yes. And within the next 2 to 3 days, I will personally get back with you so that we can discuss it, write down questions, we have some today. And in between now and the time that I call you back, that we can have a consultation. Because it's not just about doing insurance, it's about the things that you heard Keith talk about, debt elimination, protecting your assets, that, what was it? I'm going blank, it's the four, help me out here.
Okay, protection, emergency fund, debt elimination, and PIN number, financial independence.
Yes, and also too, it's a form on the inside, you can keep that form, let me pull it out. And yes, and this welcome letter is in here for y'all, so I'm just letting you know, I do welcome you for coming. But here we have the generational wealth builders, that's, my company, and that, you can do this assessment, and we'll go over that, but you keep filling out, and, keep it with you in your folder, so when we do call and when we do talk, we'll go over this individual, okay? And we'll have Keith on the line, cause I'm still in training.
I promise I'll be there.
Yeah, he's gonna be there. Grateful. And so, yes, like as Pastor Brown was asking, this is where from after today, when you leave here today, write down your questions. So you're gonna leave me with your contact information, and I will be contacting you either phone or whatever method that you put down there, and we will set up an appointment, and we will be talking with you. Because everybody's needs are different here in the room. I heard someone ask about the trust fund and things of that nature. So it's, we have the IULs, we have the annuities, which is for retirement. If we have those who've been working with a company, like the school board, the draws and things of that nature, roll over your 401ks, and what else is it? That.
But the school board, TSA, tax sheltered annuity,
Yeah.
401k, 403b plans for non-for-profits, things of that nature. A lot of, like I had a young lady call me, she moved jobs from the hospital, over the weekend while I was in Orlando. She said, I just realized I didn't move my 401k. I wanted to grow, but I wanted free from market volatility. She don't like the ups and downs of the market. So I sit down with her Monday, and we're gonna go over a consultation of what she has to do. She has 54,000 that she wants to grow. So my question was, do you have an emergency fund? She barely had an emergency fund. So we're not gonna fund her 401k. We're not gonna leapfrog over her emergency fund, because the 401k will become the emergency fund. So we're gonna take the money she wanted to add to the 401k, and we're gonna establish the emergency fund. Then once we finish the emergency fund, we'll take the money that we have for the emergency fund and we'll do our debt elimination. And then after all that, then we'll find out what we have left. And we'll take 75% of that. Illustration, if she has $2,000, 75% of that is $1,500. $1,500 will now go toward, along with her money going into that annuity to help build her retirement. And then we'll find out what she's gonna need at retirement. And retirement gotta keep pace with taxation and inflation. At least 4% for taxation and at least 4% for inflation. So it has to at least, at the very minimum, do about 8%. So we're gonna focus on something that's gonna give her 11%, so she can stay in front of taxation and inflation, so her money doesn't erode.
Hey, I guess I'm full of questions. Okay. But I find myself speaking for everybody though.
Thank you.
I'm on the proverbial bubble. I have more month than I have money. And I heard what Keith said, that, hey, yes, we can do this, we can do this. But man, I got $2 left at the end of the month. What do I do? How can I invest in this? How can I engage myself? This question for you, April, and
So basically, you have more month than money. Most people have more month than money. The average person can only make it 14 days, and they gotta borrow the rest. The average person can make it 14 days, and they borrow the rest. The rest of it is interest on the loans, interest on the mortgage, interest on the car note, interest on the credit cards, interest on the student loans. And people don't realize that. They only have enough money to make it 14 days. So they just have to make adjustments. The fastest way you can get a raise is pay off some debt or reduce the monthly payment.
Yes.
And so again, what do we more, now we gotta ask ourselves a question.
And what are we more interested in, because that's what the direction we're gonna go into. Are we more interested in protecting that 700 score to get more credit? Or are we more interested in paying off the debt so that 700 score could be the 700 score with a debt to income ratio of 32%? We gotta ask ourselves that question. See, the market has volatility, and there might be some volatility in your score while you negotiate your debt. But you gotta be okay with that. You gotta make it a point that I'm not gonna borrow any more money for the next 24 months. And so there's gonna be some volatility in my score. But once I pay off all this debt, that score will be what? It'll be really solid because it won't be predicated on debt, it'll be predicated on the past. So you gotta just negotiate with your debt collectors. If you got debt collectors that you have, you know, and you need an extra $500 a month, just negotiate with them and say, look, I need, you don't have to tell them, I need $500 a month, but just say, look, this is what I can pay, this is what I can pay, and this is what I can pay. Don't leave yourself out. Pay yourself first. The last person on your list never gets paid. And guess what? If we're the last on the list, we never get paid. And then when we get sick, everybody else gonna be asking for more money, and you ain't gonna have nothing to give to them or yourself. You follow what I mean?
Yes, yes.
And let me, piggyback on that, when you have, like you said, more monthly money, I can testify to that because, and it's gonna take discipline. I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's gonna take discipline. And, cause look at him, when you get tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired of crying, you gonna do something about it. And so, I began to say, here I'm gonna teach others about financial literacy. Perhaps I might be first partaker. So I had to begin to follow these steps. Let's eliminate some debt. And I'm gonna tell you, it's funny, they say talking about that $1, what that $1 gonna do. But here's the kicker what that $1 does. When you begin to see yourself hold back that $1, then that $1 turns into 2 and 3. The small victories. You feel good about yourself. So if I can say that, then let me go and add 10. Oh, I really don't need McDonald's. I really don't need your mottos. We really look at all this money we're spending and what you do. Get your receipts. Get a receipt for everything that you spend for 1 week and add it up. You'll be amazed. We talking about we don't have no money. Yes, we do. We have money. I look at my gas. I look at all this eating. I'm like, where did this money come from? I was amazed. So when you do that, get that with me. And I just want to let you know, when we come in contact with people, you don't become a client, you become family. As you heard him describe, see, when you build a house, see, if you come in with a vision that you want, a blueprint, as he said, you got to lay that foundation. You heard the 4 things. And then as you come in and we're having our consultations and we're meeting, we're gonna be putting down the wiring, the plumbing, the sidewalls, all that it needs, so that you can reach that vision, that blueprint for you and generations to come. You have to learn to invest in time. Invest in yourself. How many here have a car? And you pay insurance? How many times do you get in an accident? But you paying that, but you paying. So how much, you're worth more than that car. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Don't look at, oh, I'm getting insurance paying on my job. They're taking out $20-some. But guess what? When you leave that job, that insurance leaves too. It leaves too. So I'm just here to help you. Like I said, I can't make you do anything, but I can give you the information. And once I give it to you, it's up to you to do what you want to do with it. All right?
I have another thing.
I know it.
So the Brown and Crystal and Courtney could have tested this fact. I take frugal to another level.
Oh, a whole nother level.
I'm just sharing with you just a brief testimony. I was in kindergarten, not kindergarten, first grade, and I learned this early on. I was in first grade, and we was going on a field trip to Silver Springs at the end of the year. I saved $1 for the whole year to make sure I had money, if you will, to go on that field trip at the end of the year. 8 months, what was it, school, 8 months, 9 months? 9 months I saved that $1. I said this, I had, when I was at Young University, going to college, I had the benefit of sitting at the feet of, what was his name? Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett communicated to us that he didn't get where he were by spending all his monies. He said, Warren Buffett said, hey, all the money he have, he said he still eat for $3 a day, if you will. He still drive the same car. He said he never buy a new car. He said he always buy a used car. He still stay in the same house that he grew up in. And things like that. They also happen to have Larry Bird at the same meeting. Larry Bird said that when all the other basketball players were buying $30 and $40 million houses, he said, why should I buy a $30 million house and my mother lived in a $5,000 house? He said, hey, so he made a determination he's gonna invest his money in him and not give it to other people. That's what we got to do. You got to invest in yourself, if you will. You know, and I close with this. I had a very good job. Made $100,000 a year, but I ate off $20 a week.
Yeah, he ain't lying. He ain't lying.
$20 a week.
That's right.
Because this is Mr. Brown, we going out. Y'all see y'all when I see y'all.
That's
I'm
great.
gonna just peanut butter jelly sandwich and Mr. Cracker. And I'll be good to go.
And he's telling the truth, and I've learned from him over the years, because I used to get, oh man, oh my goodness, you know you can go, you got the money. But he has something that he knows that he's planning for, because like you say, life throws curveballs. And guess what, when these things happen, they got from a husband, because he has it planned and had it put away, you know, for those curves that life throws at you. And so my thing is, I can't just lean on him all the time. It's good if you have someone, but but my thing is, become your own change, because you can't depend on mama, dad, or no one else, even children. You want to set the stage for yourself. And I have a lot of grandkids, and my thing is, I do want to leave a legacy for them. I don't want them to see me that, well, grandma just, like you say, just getting by, just escaping by. I had to change my whole trajectory and talk a different language, even around them. Because you see at some points, when you're saying how our kids, when they're the age from 1 to 6, everything is downloaded to the hard drive. And then from 6 to 13, it's still downloading. And my thing is, we got to see how do we want to shape our children. Because see, when we leave here, guess what? They're still here. But what are they carrying? And we want our seed to carry what we've given them. And so we have to ask ourselves, what am I giving my children? What am I giving them? So it's just some things to think about. So like I said, look forward to me, you know, putting out for these financial checkers clinics. You know, this theme right here was Pink and Protected. This is the month of October, where we do breast cancer awareness, but Pink is about coming to the awareness and protected. I have a little umbrella. And the protection is what? Protecting your assets, protecting your income, protecting, you know, your children, your family, and these type of things. And I think I'm gonna do this crusade for every year in the month of October. And if you like the shirt you see me wearing, it's by Bill's Designs, her sister. She does a lot of things. And I'm about, and that's the thing, I'm about promoting, I'm about supporting and helping others. Because guess what? We are helpers one to another. So once again, I thank each and every one of you for coming out. Are there any more questions?
Feel it in the spirit.
Well, good. And I just want to thank you too for just coming to see about me. His word is his bond. He said, Tawana, if you just got one person now, I told my husband, I said, nah, this man come away, you better have more than one person. So I just thank you guys for coming and support me. It really means the world to me. And like I said, spread the word. If in your folder you see, I have 2 business cards. Give them out, and let, you know, say, come see Tawana. If you want to know about financial services, come see me. And perhaps if you like what you heard here today, hey, you want to join in on this crusade, see me. All right.
Stay out the mall and give her a call.
All right. And over on the other side, you know, we don't have no Golden Corral, but we do have some pizza and drinks for you. All right.
All right.
That's it.
That's it. You guys have a great one.
All right.
Thank y'all for joining. I'll talk to y'all later. Love y'all.